Lovely battle in 4 for the Malinowski steeple. They'll get 7 laps to go when they move through the start-finish line. And you expect them to work together through the opening stages. It's Jacob Cox, the 20-year-old from South Australia, South Australian Open champion that's gone to the front. And the rest of the field, Nathan Percy, you've seen moving to 3rd place in the Knox colours. Of course, he's come off a very strong performance at the Australian All-Schools Championship. He was the team captain for Victoria across there. The South Australian in Max Stevens, slotted into 2nd place, and in the Melbourne University colours, former Frenchman Romain Donu. He's the oldest man in the field, 27 years of age, but Tamsin, they're settling into their work. 4 athletes, I guess it's a bit of a mental challenge dealing with just the small field.
They would have looked at the conditions before they went out to race. Obviously, having to do a few laps, Albert Park can be quite windy. So going to the leads is a gutsy way to run it, but if you want a time, that's the only way to do it without a pacemaker. It's pretty tough to find a pacemaker in the steeple because a lot of the guys who can pace obviously don't want to get over the barriers.
That's very true, and we've seen them for the early stages. It's Jacob Cox, the South Australian, that is taking up the pace responsibilities.
They may have actually discussed what pace they want to hit. When you've got a small field and the boys are after a time, they sometimes discuss who should take lap splits. So it'll be interesting to see if he leads the whole way, but he's looking good, looking really good.
And Nathan Percy in 3rd place. He's just come off 2 gold medals across the Australian All-Schools on the weekend, 3,000 metres in all. So the steeple, I guess, for a young athlete to be able to back up in a couple of days, it's only been 4 or 5 days, it's a tough task, but it's one that he's obviously wanting to tackle. The fight really in the interesting races for the minor placings, we've seen Donu of the Melbourne University Club's now moved up to 2nd place on the shoulders there of Stevens, the South Australian, and Percy's there. They look to be labouring just a little bit, but finding their acceleration in. But Cox at the front of the field, he's been so smooth and consistent. But I think the real race within this race, the interesting battle now, Tamsin, is between 2nd, 3rd and 4th there. A couple of fatiguing bodies there, but 2 laps remaining, anything can happen.
Yeah, true. The race for 2nd definitely looks like it's the battle out here. Jacob is clearly very mentally strong. To be able to run from the front like that isn't an easy way to do it, and he's done it from the gun, so he's doing really well. So if everybody gets behind him when he comes past them, as the athlete out there, it does help. So, and he is on target for a fast time, but the battle is for the 2nd position, and they have changed their order that many times in the last 200, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets that silver. It's almost like they're taking turns at the front of that group of 3, but maybe Donu in the white top, the Frenchman, 27 years old, just starting to make his break. As they enter the home stretch, this will be the 2nd to last time they'll collect the bell. There's Jacob Cox at the front, a 20-year-old from South Australia, 7th in the national titles on this track earlier in the year. And he'll collect the bell. Let's get behind him, ladies and gentlemen. 7:54 at the bell. His season's best is 9:06. So looking for about a 72-second last lap from Cox to go within that season's best. Donu takes the bell in 2nd place in the white top of Melbourne University, and the young Victorian Nathan Percy head-to-head and shoulder-to-shoulder in that battle for 3rd with Max Stevens, the South Australian. So Donu's made his bolt. He's consistently sat 4th. He's meant to accelerate clear, but it would seem that maybe it's a little bit too little too late for the Frenchman in 2nd place, Tamsin. Well, Jacob's got 200 metres to run, and he's definitely on target for his personal best. And he's, like I said, running it from the front and in these windy conditions is a tough way to do it. So if he's able to get home in under 9 minutes 06 and run his personal best, you're going to see him during the season take that down. I think a huge chunk off that when he's in a field where he's getting pushed the whole way.
And here he comes into the home straight now. Watch the clock as he works his way in. Donu into 2nd place. Percy, the young Victorian, moved up in the 3rd past Stevens, the South Australian. He's well clear across the final barrier. Jacob Cox is going to come down and take out the Malinowski steeple in 2014. The first event on the program here at the Zatopek 10. Donu into 2nd place, a Frenchman, bit of racing for the young Victorian. Stevens will finish 4th. That's the first event on the program. There's plenty more to come as we build up towards the Zatopek 10 to feature 10,000 metre events for men and women later on in the program.